Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. We on part 2, man. We back with, who I'm here with today?
Oh, Big Devil, man.
Big Devil, man. Awesome, man. You know what, Big Devil? There's a lot of questions, I'm sure, after your part 1, that people want to know that as far as, you know what I mean, the Hideaway, you know, what was the structure of the Hideaway? Kind of explain that.
Well, the structure was kind of unique because when I moved over there in '86, you know, we was the first tenants to move in. So, you know, I give it probably about a year or 2 before we actually started picking up ground. Because the first homie that I met from the hood was Lil Hitman, which was Big Hitman's cousin. So once we started claiming the set and shit, well, our first thing we wanted to do was make some money. We wanted to establish our own section and make some money at the same time. So what we did was we took the H off the hood, you know what I'm saying, and started calling ourselves Polk Street Crips.
So you, wait a minute, let's stop right there. Let's talk. So you mean, first of all, they had hustlers attached to it.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, when it came out in '75, it was Polk Street Hustlers. And then in '76, when that second generation came in, it was Polk Street Hustler Crips. And then when my generation, that third generation came in, you know, they was already established in '86. The Baby Gangsters was already established in '86. So when my crew came in '89, '90, that's when we took the H off. You know
so being that you guys took the H off, now we're just Polk Street Crip.
Now just Polk Street.
That means y'all got them goddammits in your pocket.
Goddammits in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for confrontation. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing we did was, of course, we got to get our head count up. So I hooked up with the homie Whiskey, you know what I'm saying, at Linwood High School, and brought him down from the big end down to the Hideaway with us. So our crew, our immediate crew in the Hideaway was myself, my brother Dreamer, Big Wayne, Gangster, Big Whiskey. But back then we was known as Young Pat, J Down, Slim, Mad Rat, Psycho. You know, that was our crew right there. And Crow, homie Crow. So when we got the money going, Pat was on the big end. That was already established as ground zero as far as money, big end and little end. So we would have Young Pat go down there on the big end and bring all the clients down to the Hideaway. You know what I'm saying? So when he brought the clients down to the Hideaway, we'll serve them, and then he'll go back down there to the big end. You know, we did that for probably about a year or 2 before we got the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying?
So what was his lure to get him down there? You know what I mean? Because you're talking about going to the Hideaway. If you look at that Hideaway, you be like, man, I ain't finna walk back there.
Yeah. Well, because he was a baby gangster. And he was the only baby gangster that was on the big end kicking it with all the G's. You know what I'm saying? Because that was Big Boy and them cousins. So, you know, so he wanted to be down there with us, with all the BGs. So we like, fuck it, I'm gonna start bringing the money down here. You know what I'm saying? So we can start our own spot. So shit, within a year or 2, man, the shit was booming. You know what I'm saying? We had the drugs, we had the dope, we had the weed. You know what I'm saying? And we got the ball rolling. It was on and cracking.
So what year did you move into the Hideaway?
I moved in there in '86.
86.
Yeah. 86.
So immediately, right after '86, you was like picking up on the vibe at that point.
Well, right when I moved in, of course I wasn't from Polk Street at that point. So I'll give it probably like a year when I met Lil Hitman, and then when I met up with the homie Lowdown. When I met up with the homie Lowdown at Hostel Junior High School, and I found out he was from Pope and he stayed around the corner. That's when we got that connection, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm finna be from this shit right here. You know what I'm saying? I met the homie Gunho, Lowdown, homie Trigger. You know what I'm saying? And then we formed that bond, and then we brought them to the Hideaway with the kids that was already in the Hideaway, and then we just recruited everybody all at that one time. You know what I'm saying? And that's when that rebirth of the Baby Gangsters kicked in.
Right. So you guys in '86, you're finding your way through the Hideaway as Crips now. You done took the H off.
Right.
So now it's '86. The drug trade is moving quite well at this particular time. So actually, you guys got an economy. So at this time, what were some of the fun things that you guys got into? Did you go to skating ring? Did you go to street races and all this stuff? Was you looking to build lowriders? What was you doing with that money?
what we was doing is we had the connection. We had some Mexicans that lived right next door to us, and they was going to Mexico, back and forth to Mexico. So they used to, you know, come over the wall and buy weed from us. So once they figured out what we was doing over here, like, oh, these little youngsters making some money, they introduced us to the weapons and say, you know what, we'll bring y'all the weapons because we know y'all got the money. We'll bring y'all crates of guns, and we'll sell you a crate for, you know, $3,000. You know, we had 10 guns up in there. So we said, all right, let's do that. So they started bringing us a gun by the boatloads, man. By, you know, every other week they was bringing us guns, and we was buying them. You know what I'm saying? So we was using our profit to buy the guns, and then we'll recop. You know what I'm saying? Because there's like 8 or 9 of us, so we was all hustling out of one pot.
So let me understand it. So you guys established a line of communication with the Tijuas, which is Tijuana Cartel, or the Sinaloa Cartel. Do you remember which one? Sinaloa. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Sinaloa Cowboys, man. That's awesome.
We was teenagers.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So then we started having meetings amongst each other to try to figure out who's going to be doing what. You know what I'm saying? As far as dealing with the dudes to get the cocaine, dealing with the dudes to get the guns. So I wasn't really good with words. So young Pat and my brother Dreamer, you know what I'm saying? They was like the businessmen. They was the masterminds behind the operation. You know
so it was a structure.
It was a structure. We started structuring it. You know what I'm saying? So my brother was the banker. You know, he held all the money. And Big Whiskey was the organizer. He's the one that did all the business. You know, he contacted everybody, did all the business. Me and the homie Slim and the homie Snake and shit, we was enforcers.
So what was, not to cut you off, where's Big Whiskey today? Is he rested in peace?
Rest in peace. Yeah, he got killed September 8, 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, me, Snake and Slim, we was the enforcers. When the motherfucker got out of line, we was the ones, you know, we was the ones to deal. We clean up the mess and shit. You know, tie them up, knock them out, do whatever we got to do.
Right.
So once we got our shit established, now we need a spot to sell it out of, because you know my moms didn't know we was dealing drugs. You know, we was still teenagers. Everybody who lived in there, you know, their parents stayed up in there, J Down, homie Mad Rat. So we needed to do it inside of a house. So the homie Marv lived up in there. You know what I'm saying? So he opened his door to us, say, hey, you know, y'all can serve out of my shit. You know what I'm saying? Plus he was smoking Primos and shit. So we like, fuck it, we go up in there and sell up out of his house. And we started having shifts. You know what I'm saying? We had a morning shift. We had 2 dudes work the window. And all you had to do was make $500. Each dude make $500. Once you make your $500, each dude put $250 a piece into the pot. When them 2 dudes make their $1,000 for that shift, the next shift come on, they do the same thing. $500. Put $500 in the shoebox. The next shift come. You know, I was on the graveyard shift, so my cash drawer always came up short because you know what I'm saying, I wanted to do a little bit more to sell dope.
You was freaking.
Yeah, freaking. I was selling dope, and I was robbing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I was intimidating motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I got a thrill out of just taking your money. You know, even though I got the dope to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I want to test my knockout. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out just to see if I got it. You know what I'm saying? So my homies used to be like, nah, man, you tripping. You know, you fucking the spot up there. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know, well, back then I was cute. You fucking the spot up, Q. You know, calm down. You know, let's get this money. You know, Pat and my brother, man, let's get this money. So, you know, I cut the bullshit out, and we kept it going for a while, man. The police didn't know where we was at. You know what I'm saying? Our parents didn't see us making no money. You know what I'm saying? Selling drugs and shit. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we was making, you know, we were making shit $6,000-7,000 a day.
So question: what year, what time in the time frame that Blair and Rifkin became aware of you guys?
Shit, that was in about 94, 93, 94. I got to camp in 92, and they was already hot on our trail. But 93, 94, that's when they made their names known over there.
So there was a raid in 1993, right? And we actually got a picture we're going to drop in the link. But J Down, Slim Dog, Snake, and Big Marv, and yourself.
Yeah.
It's a picture of you guys in the raid along with Rifkin and Blair.
Right. Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, that day, you know, it was like any other day. You know, so we sitting there chilling, drinking that silver satin and shit, smoking some stress. And my homegirl that stayed next door, she had the weed sack. So we let her make a little money and shit. So we work in the window, and the white dude come walking up to the window, walking up to her window. So we intercepted him because he wanted some dope. He didn't want no weed, he wanted some dope. So we, hey, motherfucker, come over here. What you want? I got 60. So my homie Slim like, I don't know this motherfucker. You know, so you know him? The homie Snake look out the window and say, yeah, I know him. Yeah, I served to him yesterday. So I look at the motherfucker. I'm,
Typical,
of course,
huh?
Yeah, of course, I'm drunk as a motherfucker. I'm like, shit, man, they all look the same to me. You know, he good for fucking serving. So my brother ended up serving him. My brother get the money, he leave the spot. Shit, about 10, 15 minutes later, the motherfucker was snatching the whole back door off that motherfucker. So we grabbed the plate of dough. We had about, say, probably about 15, 16 ounces in a plate all cut up in rocks. We used to have a big ass Easter plate. And we used to just chop it up and have it all just full of rocks. Nothing but just all rocks. Jay down take that shit, man, flush it down the toilet. Shit, we come up in that motherfucker, man, cuff us all. And goddamn Blair come up in that motherfucker, him and Rifkin, and he just smiling like a motherfucker. Say, yeah, did I tell you I was gonna get y'all? I told you I was gonna get you.
These are hop out boys.
Yeah, hop out boys, green jacket.
You know what I don't understand is, man, is that when you think about it in its total context, what have black people done to these white people to make them react to us in the way they react? Because we want the same things. We want our lives. We want to be able to live in harmony and peace. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Although it may be structured differently, right, but at the same time, a lot of things that we go through, right, and have gone through is because of what Western cultural society set us up to be. You know what, right, I'm saying? Because, right, they brought us over here and they demonstrated that they want us to be like second-class citizens. Right. So we're always in the background trying to figure out how to survive and navigate this life. Right. And so they try to punish us on both ends, mm-hmm, so to speak. Yeah. But speak to Blair and Rifkin, man. These two cats, man, they was characters.
Man, yeah, the motherfuckers, man. And you know, they couldn't find the marked money. They wanted the marked money, but my brother Dreamer had already took the money and dropped it off in the shoebox at his spot. You know what I'm saying? So after the raid, you know, weeks later, you know what I'm saying, now we can't serve inside Marv House because he evicted, of course. You know what I'm saying? They took Jay down to jail, I think, for some warrants and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was on probation. They wasn't tripping on me. But after that, you know what I'm saying, we had a meeting and shit, because now we got to come up with a solution to try to outsmart these motherfuckers. And then that's when we went to the scanners. You know what I'm saying? And then at nighttime, the homie Slim, he used to shut all the lights off in the Hideaway, all the carport lights, anything that was lit up outside, he'd jump up there and shut it out.
So what did he do? Did he tap into the box, or he knew with the switch?
To the wire box, to the main breaker of all the lights in the Hideaway. So we'll shut all the lights off, and then we'll jump on the top roofs with the scanners. You know, of course, dressed in black. Everybody be dressed in black and shit, so that we can so we can see them coming from 2 blocks over. We can see when we jump on top of the roofs, we can see 2 blocks over. We can see everything that's going on around the Hideaway. You know, any police come, we'll let them know, hey, police coming. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody duck off and run off and hide. Then they'll come up in the Hideaway, shine their lights. The motherfuckers don't see nobody. And then, you know, sometimes they get on their little bullhorn. We know y'all back here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, the motherfuckers used to be scared to come on.
Yeah, they're scared of the dark.
Yeah,
see, because they don't understand that what you guys was doing was exercising survival skills, how you needed to survive in the circumstances of what you guys were facing, right, because you knew that the sheriff department was going to do everything within their power to come back and disrupt whatever you was doing, because all the time you guys paying light bills, you help feeding families, you're doing a lot of different things, but they don't understand that, but they put you in that circumstance. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about institutional racism in society, how they do us as black people. You know, we haven't done anything to these people.
Right.
Except built this fucking country.
Right. Yeah. So I eventually ended up dropping out of school, 10th grade and shit. You know what I'm saying? Further my career in the street organization and shit. So yeah, it was just cat and mouse with the motherfuckers. Once they got mad that they couldn't catch us, he left us alone for a little while. Then he started going on a little win, fucking with the homies over there. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he couldn't fuck with us up in the Hideaway.
So obviously this went on for a couple of years, because May 12th, 1995, Blair was, you know, gunned down with his shenanigans. You know what I mean? Because again, we're not pouring any, you know, anything wrong on what happened to Blair. We're not looking at it in the context of that we say that we happy that happened. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that this guy chose to come to the community and be, you know what I mean, sort of a pest and a bully at the same time, but wearing law enforcement gear,
Yeah, they was
representing law enforcement, but not going in the context of the guideline what law enforcement is about.
Yeah, they was the real menace to society in our eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because we looked at the motherfuckers like, you know, like they was enemies. You know what I'm saying? It was times where they put us all on the police car, and we'll say, you know, when one run, we all run. You know, so one of the homies take off, we all take off. They can't catch everybody.
Right.
They be standing there and shit looking puzzled like that. These motherfuckers done ran. You know, it was time when motherfuckers done ran with cuffs on them and shit. The homie lowdown was good for that shit. You know what I'm saying? He'd break on your ass in a minute.
So before we get up out of here, man, on this, let's talk about what spoiled the relationship between you guys and the neighborhoods, because you guys are in close proximity along with the young crowd. So I'm sure you guys at one time, your relationship was really solid.
Yeah, well, back in school, you know what I'm saying? Well, as far as the city, you know, every gang in the city wants to be the most notorious gang. So, you know, it kind of started by on the walls, you know, wall banging with the spray paint and the graffiti, you know what I'm saying? We strike up on Atlantic, you know what I'm saying? I was, me and the homie Lowdown, we was the main two corporates with the wall shit. You know what I'm saying? Late night, we jump on the bike and we'll hit Atlantic and we'll strike the hood up all up and down Atlantic. The next day, they'll strike their hood up either on top of ours, next to ours, underneath ours, you know what I'm saying? They won't cross us out because, of course, we wasn't beefing at the time. But, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, want that dominance. You know what I'm saying? That we want that dominance. So it was kind of a power, it was a power struggle of who finna be, you know, who finna be the most dominant gang, because we all going to the same gas stations. You know what I'm saying? We're going to the same restaurants, eating and shit. So at school, you know, we was cool with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? I went to camp. I was in camp with a couple of them, with Inky and Scarface and shit. And you know what I'm saying? We was like that in camp, kicking it together every day, pushing that land with Crip shit. So, you know, it was a couple of little skirmishes going on that happened and shit throughout the city. And then after that peace treaty shit happened, we was trying to put some fire out, and that shit didn't work. So one night, we hanging on the big end. One of the homies just got out the pen, and we had a big ass party. You know, everybody know, you know what I'm saying, they ever came to a party on Pope, they knew it was cracking.
Man, Freak Daddy and them used to get some of the baddest parties in Linwood.
Yeah, exactly, it was at his house. And that shit was cracking. So we there, of course, deep as a motherfucker. And Bo went to their store, went to Landmark. And he ran across a couple of their G homies over there, and they like, yeah, we heard y'all throwing a party over there. And Bo like, yeah, we having a party. He's like, okay, we coming. We coming invited or not. That's what he told the homie. So when he come back around the corner to tell us, he like, hey man, I just seen them niggas at the store. Niggas said they coming over here invited or not. So automatically, you know, homie's like, shit, nigga, fuck that. Niggas come over here, it's on. You know what I'm saying? So we cut the music out, told all the homegirls go in the house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get strapped down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we had gang of guns back then. So if it was 20 niggas out there, it was 20 guns. Everybody had a gun. So we spread out, get in formation. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, we see some niggas walking up the street. So when they start walking up the street, I'm telling the homie Slim, like, hey, why them niggas park way at the corner? You know what I'm saying? So eventually they come to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Why not pull right up to the party, to the house? So they park on Fernwood. So when they walk up, I don't see no G niggas with them. You know what I'm saying? All the niggas that was there was all they main hitters. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course they dressed in, it's summertime. They got on big old wool trench coats and shit, you know what I'm saying, beanies and shit like that. So, you know, to me, that's like, okay, they come over here for battle. You know what I'm saying? So that particular night, I had a 20 gauge sawed off, a double barrel 20 gauge. Motherfucker was, you know, a little short one. I had it up my shirt sleeve. So I'm standing on the sidewalk. They come up and shit. We, you know, I shake our hands, we embrace, because, you know, we know these dudes from school and shit. But, you know, they ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? They you know, they mild, you know, introducing themselves to the homies that they don't know. Homies introducing themselves. But, you know, one of my homies wasn't having that shit. You know, two of my homies, they wasn't having that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they come out the gate, you know, pistol in their hand, like, hey, nigga, what's up? What y'all niggas doing over here? And they like, you know, moving back, looking around like we coming to party. Like, nah, nigga, y'all niggas don't come over here. Nigga, we told y'all don't come. You know what I'm saying? One nigga said something that was smart. He get pistol whipped, get knocked out. Shit, next thing I know, all them niggas had guns. They whip out, we whip out, and guns blazing right there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
they run, try to run off and shit. They got away and shit, but you know what I'm saying? They come back the next day and sent one of their G homies over there and wanted to talk to Tiny Mike. Tiny Mike didn't want to do no talking. And shit, it was on. They came back that night to the Hideaway.
So they waited. Now they want to get the G homies involved. Now it's up to them to come back and try to extinguish what's happening.
Right.
When you had a bunch of hotheads out there,
Right.
younger cats out there that just, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't finna see nobody's point of view. And it escalated from there.
Yeah.
And so it was ongoing, you know what I mean? But let me ask you this, did you ever see it being back, you know what I mean, okay? Or what's your guy standing now? It's like, it's dying down or?
It died down from how it was back then in 93, 94, 95 when, you know, we went to war with them for about 5 years tough.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? It was shootouts every day, man. Every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? It was sometimes where I come outside and be thinking, you know what I'm saying, this might be my last day on earth. You know what I'm saying? I used to look at my mother and my sister and shit like, you know what? I might not come back tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna stay in the house for nobody. You know, I'm not finna hide from these niggas, stay in the house, none of that shit. I'm finna get with it. They come over here, I'm going back. You know what I'm saying? And they always came back. I give it to them. You know what I'm saying? They you know what I'm saying? They gave us all we can handle, and we gave them too. You know what I'm saying? And,
So at the end of the day, whether it's BK, CK, it's still black man killing, colored man killer, right? So there's no winners. It's just all losers, man, because when you think about it, you bang in different hoods, but you'll wind up in the same graveyard. And nobody can, you know, distinguish that because you're all in the same graveyard from the various different hoods, and nobody's going to take you out and say, hey, man, I can't be in this graveyard because this nigga from here,
Right.
you know what I mean? But
and then, you know, the crazy part is that, you know, it's only one hospital in Linwood. So
all wind up in St. Francis.
when one of their homies get hit, 2 or 3 of their homies get hit, some of our homies get hit, when we go visit our homies in the hospital, guess who we seeing up there?
Damn.
We running into them. You know what I'm saying? This big old squabbles up there in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's closer, the hospital closer to their turf, so you know what I'm saying, they're gonna take claim to that, but you know what I'm saying, it's ended up at the same place, you know what I'm saying? But when they came and ambushed us in the Hideaway, that was you know, that was the end of that, you know, anything trying to some peace shit or whatever like that. But
Right.
I don't think we can probably ever sit down and be like we once was, because there's too much bloodshed behind the shit. But you know, it's 2021, man. Ain't nobody, you know, I'm 46 years old. I ain't out there gang banging like that no more. You know what I'm saying? If I run across a nigga that I know from over there, you know what I'm saying, I ain't giving him no hard looks and shit like that, or chunking the hood up.
It's a lot of peace in your heart right now, devil.
Because I ain't got to.
Yeah.
I ain't got to look at you all crazy.
Well, that goes with age, and you become mature and you see things quite differently, and you, I mean, you know what I mean, you respond to life very differently, you know what I mean, because you become responsible for other lives, you know what I mean. So you start looking at things very differently, man. And hopefully every grown man that's listening to this can take at least that from it, you know what I mean, that you can start building rapport with people, you know what I mean, because we have a great deal more in common than we do not in common, man. But at this time, man, I appreciate this interview, man. And it was very powerful, thought-provoking, and profound. And you didn't hold back, man, and I appreciate that, man. And we're going to get some more in, man. But today, Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Post, man, y'all go on and click the notification bell, subscribe, and like. And be sure to give a shout-out to Big Deb, man. And shout out them boys, J-Down, Slim Dog, Snake, and Big Marv. And definitely my boy, Ken Duke, you know, Ken Duke, T-Bone, you know, and Boo, you know what I mean? Can't forget about Boo, you know what I mean? And the rest of the Dreamer, you know what I mean? Trigger, let's see, 40, Lil 40. Big Wayne. So we can't, you know what I mean? Shout out to those, man. Salute to all y'all, man. And hope everybody's living in peace and harmony. And shout out to the N Hoods, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll get a chance to speak with some of them, man, because there's always two sides, you know what I mean? And hopefully they can do theirs as peaceful as you did yours.
For sure.
Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Post, man, we out.